Welcome to Flavor Balance Heat, the podcast for hot sauce lovers and makers. Welcome to Flavor Balance Heat, the podcast for hot sauce lovers and makers. I'm Spike.
And I'm Claire.
And today we're talking to Matt and Catharine Kuerbis from HYCH Hot Sauce. How you doing?
Good.
Hey, we're great.
How you guys doing?
Excited to be here.
Good.
Very good, thank you.
It's great to meet you. Meet you guys. Tell us your hot sauce story and kind of how you landed where you are today.
Okay, well, there's two of us also. We take turns telling this story. I'll jump in. So Matt is a longtime chef and culinary educator. And in 2014, we met and he was already planning to move to Costa Rica. And I thought that sounded like a lot of fun. So we both pretty much sold everything we owned, moved to Costa Rica from Portland, Oregon. And you started working as a head chef at a retreat center down there up in the mountains, and started making a lot of from scratch sauces out of their garden there, and loved it. And we bounced around down there for a couple of years. And then we decided it was time to come back to Oregon. And we thought we should start a company that gives us passive income so we can live in Costa Rica and just have money coming into our bank account while we're just, hanging out on the beach in Costa Rica. So, as you all know, starting a hot sauce company is the number one way within 2 years to have like a ton of money just flooding your bank account from grocery store.
How it is for me. Totally.
Yeah.
We're on the beach right now.
You don't want to see behind the curtain here.
Yeah, that's right. That's why you have the curtain, so we're not jealous of where you really are. Yeah. So it was like a 2-year plan. And then we're like, this is more like a 5-year plan. And now we're coming up on 10 years. So but it's been a real fun and interesting journey learning about grocery and retail. We didn't know anything when we started. Matt was just making sauces in our kitchen here in Oregon. And we started with the farmers markets. And then we slowly got into retail and more wholesale and small grocery chains and bigger grocery chains. And we've just been trying a little bit of everything, e-commerce, restaurant, food service. So here we are today with 5 flavors and just kicking along.
Yep. That's the main story, I guess.
Anything you want to add?
And what made you want to do hot sauce specifically?
Well, when we were thinking about we'd like to have a business, I had been making sauces already, not necessarily hot sauces, but then, we did spend a little time kind of looking at the business financial aspect of the food industry, and hot sauce, as you guys know and everybody knows, just taking off. And so when you look at the return on investment on hot sauce versus other condiments, it's just shooting through the roof while all the rest of them are still growing, but just down here. So it was like, oh, we should do hot sauce, so.
Well, also you said you always wanted to make a green chili sauce. Matt grew up in Colorado. And so he really wanted to try making a green chili sauce, but then you didn't want to put any meat in it. And so then we ended up more steering toward the hot sauce. And then once we started getting into hot sauce and making it, I think then we looked at the financials and we're like, wow, this sector is really massively growing. As you guys know, with Hot Ones and everything, it's gotten really
especially
popular.
10 years ago. Yeah.
That's when it seemed like it was really taking off. And then everyone kind of started making hot sauce. And so, it's been fun.
Yeah, I always forget that part of the story. Like growing up in Colorado, I love pork green chili. And so then I moved to Oregon and that doesn't exist up here, green chili, red chili. And And so I was like, someday I'm going to make pork green chili, but bottling meat is a whole different ball game.
Yes.
And so it's like, okay, I'm not going to do that. And so we just went with the hot sauces. But since then, we discovered early on, Los Roast was up here who does green and red chilies. And so I found it so I could, scratch that itch when I need to.
Nice.
Yeah, we were living in Eugene about the time that you started your business.
And we live in Salem, right? So we're just an hour north. Yeah.
As a matter of fact,
Spike?
In Moscow, Idaho.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I had been a sous chef at one of the restaurants here, so we were trying to figure out where we wanted to go to start our business. And so we were like, either we can go to Bellingham, where we've never been, but we kind of wanted to go there, or back to Moscow. And we really liked living here. So we just came back. I called my old boss and said, can I make hot sauce when chef's not there? And she said, get here now.
Right.
So it worked out well.
Oh, great. I love it. Wonderful.
So the two of you, how did you each get into just spicy food in general? Did you grow up eating it? Is it something you fell into, or, obviously growing up in Colorado?
Yeah, right. Like there's some aspect of spice there, but not like massive spice. But I think for me, it's just always been there. And I think that it's like, when I think of food, I think about, salty, sweet, savory, or salty, sweet, bitter, sour, umami. And then I think like, well, heat, is one of those things to throw in there. And I'm not a really big hot pepper kind of guy. Like I don't like hot stuff. And so really it was only once we got into making hot sauce that we started kind of venturing down some hotter pepper avenues and eating a little bit hotter stuff, as we discovered all these amazing sauce makers across the United States, and like, oh wow, look at what they're doing with that. So it was really just getting into the hot sauce that got me into like, started going like, oh, I want to try different peppers and see what it's like. But we, our company, Heat You Can Handle, we're like, we're going to make low heat hot sauce because I don't want to be burned out. So that's for me. I don't know.
I grew up in North Carolina, and we didn't eat a ton of heat growing up there. So I would say just around 2016, hot sauce was becoming super popular. And not only were you making some at home, starting to get into it, but we started bringing home more hot sauce, partly because it was so popular and we were excited about it, and partly just to see what everyone else was making. And honestly, so much of it was so hot. And I always tell people that's one reason we started our brand, Heat You Can Handle, because we'd come home with something where the ingredients look really yummy, and then you pour it out and all I could get was like one-dimensional heat. So we, our hot sauces still have heat too. They're lower. Yeah. They're not Reaper and Ghost and Scorpion, but they're spicy enough to give you some heat, So I don't know. That's a great question. I think I just got into it because we started making hot sauce.
I mean, like a typical like young male, like college student back in the day, would dump the Cholula and the green Tabasco and all that stuff. Like I always loved that, but that was kind of the extent of my hot sauce knowledge.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you guys say? Heat You Can Handle definitely says lower heat hot sauces, but outside of that, what would you say is kind of your flavor profile? Like, what do you aim for besides its heat level in your sauces? What's signature of your sauces?
Yeah, so I mean, I think global flavors was always in the beginning. We're like, oh, we want to do sauces from around the world because we love to travel. We like to be out there, and the thoughts of this company was born in Costa Rica. And so, I wanted to bring like these delicious flavors from around the world, into the bottle. So you could have like a restaurant quality flavored meal at home. So that's kind of one of the pillars, is like, we want global flavors that, when you think about flavors from Southeast Asia or from Korea, like those flavors are so good. So we have two sauces that incorporate those kind of flavors, because that umami is so good. And flavors like soy sauce and lime juice and a sweetness and the sour and all those things mixed together. Just, I mean, for me, those flavors from that part of the world are like the best combo of flavors. So that's kind of where, when I make a sauce, I think about bringing lots of different flavors together. I like complexity and a lot of different things to pick out of that sauce. Nice.
Yeah, I was picking through your website and looking at it, and I was like getting hungry. I haven't had your sauces yet, but there are a lot of things that we have a lot in common, I think, in the way we make our sauces. So it's really nice to see.
Nice.
We've had some high desert sauce on our shelf.
That's not his.
Oh,
yeah, no,
That's
ours
Zach.
is
That's
Irish
Zach.
Spikes.
Yeah.
That's Zach. Yeah, yeah. High Desert, but Zach's sauces are really good, and he is really good with doing a nice range of heat. It's good to see. I always send people his way when they want, because we do the same thing. We mostly go lower heat, and so I'll send people to Claire and to Zach because it's a little bit more down their alley.
Right.
It's good to have those people.
Yep.
Do you guys manufacture your own sauce, or do you work with a co-packer?
We have been working with a co-packer pretty much since the year after we started in 2017. So Matt started making hot sauce. He had 2 flavors going, and he was doing it all in our kitchen. We went to Costco and bought a Vitamix. It's our first big purchase for the business, a little.
Yep.
So we're like, this is great. But nothing was shelf stable. And then when he decided he wanted to really make a go of it, or we did, but you're the chef. So he was looking into buying like real equipment, to make hot sauce in large batches. And we thought, gosh, this is expensive and it's going to take a lot of space. And then, so this was like 2016, 2017. I feel like information is way more readily available now, especially for consumer packaged
absolutely.
makers. Like everyone seems to know the word co-packer, but when we started, no one seemed to know that word. And it was hard to get information on where they were. And we would get a list from like the Department of Agriculture, and 3 of them were closed. And, but you went around and toured 7 different facilities, because our sauces have, the first 2 especially, they have fats in them. So they needed like the right equipment for emulsification and stuff, and not everyone could do it. But we really lucked out, and we found an excellent co-packer right here in Oregon in Lake Oswego.
Nice.
Paradise Food Works. So we've been working with them the whole time, and they've been terrific. So yeah, I have so much respect for all of the hot sauce makers out there. I think probably you too, who are like working with local farms or growing your own peppers and then getting in the kitchen and putting on a mask and processing all the peppers and making the sauce. I just don't even know how you guys do it. And do the marketing and show up for events. Like that's a lot. So that's amazing. Good job.
Thank you.
I mean, to have a co-pack and show up in boxes, I think that's a lot of work. So.
Honestly, running a business is just always a lot of work. It doesn't matter which parts you do in-house and which parts you send out to somebody else, but you still have to manage it. It's all just a lot.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I haven't worked on the line making sauce in a long time. We have employees that do that now, but it seems like I work more now that I don't do that.
It's funny. Yeah, all the other parts of the business that you have to work on. Yep. Yeah. QuickBooks or the line?
Yeah, right.
Any day. Yeah.
So now did you get into any of just get diving into the FDA stuff or any of that, or did you just turn that right over to the co-packer?
Yeah, we just turned it over
to the first year. I guess,
the first year, but the first year we weren't doing any hot fill stuff. So everything that we carted around was in a cooler.
But right away we had the ODA guy come over and inspect our house, and we didn't have a dog or anything. The cottage industry laws in Oregon have changed a bit and become a little more lenient, but yeah, we got inspected right away and got approved to start selling hot sauce, which was very exciting. And so our first year, we would take a cooler everywhere we went because it wasn't shelf stable. And so we'd have to tell people go home and put it in the fridge, So we did it like that for a year. And then once we got onboarded with a co-packer.
We didn't do any process authority stuff.
No.
That's all co-packer stuff. So it was just a brief time of some direct-to-consumer sales with the cooler, and then searching for the co-packer and just passing that all on to them. So we haven't really had to touch any of that stuff. I mean, we have to, of course, get the third-party audit and all the HACCP plans and things like that to submit for different retailers. But we don't have to do that, which is nice.
Yeah.
That's one reason I like using a co-packer too. Knock on wood, I was if there's ever any kind of problem or a recall, I don't want it to be from me not doing something right in the kitchen, So, but those guys that we work with are really state of the art, and they're doing a great job. So, yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear. It's been my experience. One of the reasons why we started this podcast was because we noticed a lot of kind of cowboy hot sauce companies just making it and even like learning from other people the right way to do it, but just ignoring that and doing it their own way. And to me, the worst offenders have always been, unfortunately, people in the restaurant business that just go, I know how to do this. And they just do it. And it's like, come on, man. So it was really nice to hear that you were like really diligent along the, from the beginning, trying to make sure and do it all right, because I've had some instances with, other chefs and I'm like, come on, man, you know how to do it right. Come on,
Yeah, I mean, I like, and cutting corners and things like that. Like, it's hard. Like, you're busy, and so it's like, I know this is gonna be okay if I do it this way. Like, but yeah, I don't want that responsibility. And whatever. Our dirty little secret. I feel like it's our dirty little secret, like that. We don't make our sauces anymore, and haven't for years. And somebody else does that, and it's we're in that kind of, as they call it, like the dump and pump. They're just putting it into the kettle and giving it a good mix and heating it up to temperature and bottling it. So there is some chefy. I remember in the beginning having to give up some of the chef stuff I wanted to have happen and be like, oh, okay, I can't. We're not going to be fresh roasting, tomatoes and onions and peppers to put into the sauce anymore. If you're going to use a co-packer, you're going to find a different way to create as close to the flavor as you can to that original recipe. Because in the beginning, the first year I was in the kitchen, like I'd be like, oh, I'm making a batch. I'm roasting the tomatoes. I'm sauteing the onions. So and now, it's not. And then we go to the co-packer and they're like, instead of roasting the tomatoes, we're going to throw, you can throw some tomato paste and, like this. And I'm like, do I have to do? And they're like, well, you can pay $1 million and we'll do this. And your per unit cost will be, $10. And so,
Yeah.
I mean,
go ahead, Claire.
No, I was just gonna say, I feel like the attitudes about co-packers have changed over time, and that, like, I feel like in the beginning it was a little bit more like, oh, you don't make it yourself, and now it's like, no, there's a lot of rules and safety things, and I'm going to let somebody who knows how to do that part. And I feel like as the hot sauce industry has grown and the craft hot sauce industry has grown, the idea that that sauce is still very much yours, even if you're not the one in the kitchen.
Yeah, and after COVID, the 2 billion hot sauce companies that popped up.
Right.
About half of those ended up with a co-packer too. So it was like, all right, we got to do something about this. Speaking of, Claire's a co-packer. We're starting down that road. Just this last month we started. So it's, it's a different thing for us, but it's a lot of fun. But I noticed when I had to change over, that whole instinct to make a change to a dish here and there, which you could do as you're going along, and you just can't do that. It has to be, I had to go from like cook's thinking to baker's thinking.
I was going to say, Spike, that's like the difference between your chef background and my baking background.
Yeah.
My baking background, we only change things to make it more the same. That's the only thing. Yeah.
It was a hard change for me. I actually really had a difficult time with it because I wanted to be able to make little changes here and there, but it's good. I think it was a good practice to learn. And then, in the restaurant business, the ultimate idea is to come out with the exact same dish every time anyway. Do you have any hot takes? Things that are, obviously we know about the heat, but, anything else that kind of is a norm, people are on board with it, maybe you're not.
Well, one thing we were chatting right before the podcast started about, question to ask and stuff that would be interesting to talk about. And so we have long been on team xanthan gum because our sauces have a lot of oil. So our bibimbap has a lot of toasted sesame oil. Our tamarind hot sauce has a lot of toasted sesame oil. And if they do not have xanthan gum and they sit on the shelf, it is terrible looking because the toasted sesame oil is very dark and it looks like a half a bottle of black and then a half a bottle of like red or brown. Like it's just not gonna sell like that. So really early on we started using xanthan gum in our sauces with the co-packer, and then I think this has changed, but for a long time we heard that Hot Ones wasn't taking any sauces with xanthan gum in them, which might have changed, but
they still don't.
They don't. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. So that's kind of a bummer for us. But anyway, we thought that was really interesting when we started looking into it, that it seemed like there was a divide in the hot sauce community, which overall we find the hot sauce community to be very supportive and friendly and collaborative and stuff. But it seemed like xanthan gum was kind of like this divider, like,
it's like, do you put pineapple on your pizza or not?
Yeah.
I've
cold
experienced
sauce
that.
versus hot sauce, or room temperature versus
xanthan
cold.
gum. Yeah.
Oh, you do too.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, consumers don't really ask about it. Like, I think they're used to seeing it. And when they do ask, we say it's an all natural, it's a binder, or isn't that what it is? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. So, and it's not a preservative. We're very clear, like our sauces are all natural, preservative free, So, but it's just interesting. And I would love to not use it. However, I just don't think that our sauces would sell well when they sit on the shelf in a grocery store if they looked like they look without it. So,
I actually take the other kind of point of view with it. I actually prefer it. And the reason why I prefer it is because even now, Claire's are different. And that's Claire, I'm not just saying this because you're my co-host, but Claire does not use xanthan gum most other than co-packing, I think.
Yeah.
But Claire blends hers enough, like really goes at it so that the pepper kind of takes care of that on its own. But for me, I use a lot of stuff in my sauces. Claire's sauces are, she makes really good sauces with maximum 10 ingredients, maybe.
Well, our highest number of ingredients is our hot house, which has 13 ingredients, but most of them have like 4. So,
yeah. And sometimes I'll have, the higher end ones for me, our mole, I think, has between 30 and 40.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So, you get all those particulates together, you got to have xanthan gum or else it's going to be a mess. And it clogs the neck. And a lot of sauces I find that don't have xanthan gum, you really have to shake it up and use it right then and there and shake it every single time. And you're still going to get like that clump in the top. And the xanthan gum really disperses things well. And I prefer that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd no shade to anybody who doesn't use it, but I do get a lot of shade for using it, which I always thought was weird.
Right.
Yeah. See, it's interesting, right? Yeah.
But
Claire,
Spike, sorry, no, what were you going to ask?
Do you have fermented sauces or with the?
No, we do like one fermented sauce a year, and occasionally we'll do other fermented sauces, but mostly we do unfermented sauces. But our sauces are very pepper forward. So, like a smoked onion is our most popular, and it's Maplewood smoked onions, red jalapenos, vinegar, and salt. And it's, it's taken us a lot of years. Like we've been making hot sauce since 2011, but we're really finding our groove with maintaining the viscosity, and blending it the right amount and the right way and the technique to get them to not separate. And they do still sometimes. I was just looking at my sauce in the store today and I was noticing my habs had a little separation in it because the habanero just has so little flesh that it's kind of hard for it to have that body, but it's, there's a lot of pectin naturally in chili peppers. And so like, if you can get it to activate in the right way, you can get it to suspend, but it's been a lot of trial and error for us to do that. And I don't know, our 13 ingredient sauce, it doesn't separate, but we do have a little bit of oil in there. And that oil with the capsaicin oil will separate and you'll get like black oil droplets from that. It is what it is. But I know what you're talking about with the oil, like the sesame oil. And when you have a high amount of oil, it is, like Spike, like you said, you really have to just keep shaking it every time. There's a sauce I love from Cantina Royale that's like half oil. And you basically have to shake and then pour, and then shake and then pour. And like, it's so good, but it's a single action.
And even with doing, it's one of my all-time favorite sauces.
It's so good. So good.
It's in there.
Yeah. It's still in my cupboard. I can't get rid of it.
Is that like a hot tomato sauce? We were next to those guys when they were like 1 or 2 years out, and we were at the Albuquerque show, or maybe they were right across from us, and they had only 1 or 2 flavors, but I feel like one of them was
tomato.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you were talking about hot tomato. Anyway, but they're out in New York, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the charred, like habanero or something, isn't it? Charred
habanero. Something like that. Yeah. And I was actually just looking. I put it in my fridge because I was hoping to just like suspend it, and doesn't quite. It just, the oil is just really, but it's super tasty. Super tasty.
It sounds good.
I'm going to have to get a chopstick down there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
I'm Claire George. I own Butterfly Bakery of Vermont. We make hot sauce, mustard, cookies, and granola, and 100% of our products are made with Vermont ingredients. The thing that I hear most often from people is that my hot sauce tastes like the peppers that are in it. We do really simple recipes that don't get too crazy and nitpicky, just to really accentuate the flavor of the peppers that are in there. The unique thing about our hot sauces is how much we feature the farm and the relationship with the farm, and really bring the terroir of Vermont to our hot sauces. I am pretty sure I am the #1 purchaser of Vermont-grown chili peppers. I would love it if there would be a legitimate pepper market in Vermont where people would know Vermont for its peppers. We're all better for supporting each other. You know, and I think that part really shows itself with the collaborations that I do with the other businesses and the other farms, that I love working together and coming up with new ideas and presenting each other with new challenges. And I think overall that's the attitude here. And I absolutely love it because that's my attitude. I try to live my life with love. The ingredients that I use, I would say that my values are reflected in that, that I use ingredients that, again, feel good, feel loving, feel supportive. The relationship with the farmer was how it all began. If I changed the reason for it being, if I went out and bought some commodity peppers, you know, it might not be as good.
You can find Butterfly Bakery of Vermont hot sauce, mustard, granola, and cookies at butterflybakeryvt.com.
And that's one of the downfalls of using a co-packer. Like, it makes it a whole lot easier, but they're not going to spend time developing a particular technique to find the right balance of ingredients. And I mean,
well, and also, I mean, the most basic thing that makes it work, it's more complicated than this, but the thing that's like critical to it is immersion blending the sauce for long enough. So we run it through a mill, we do all the things, but by the time we add the last thing, we have to immersion blend the sauce for 15 to 30 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And this is not a one person problem, because I have had this problem in like all the kitchens, like with all the different leaders of the kitchens that I have had. And the person in charge of my kitchen now is fantastic, and she makes sure they follow this. But so many of them have been like, I'll look at the sauce and I'll say it needs to blend longer. And they'll say, but I've been blending it forever. I don't care how long you've been blending it. That's not what I said. I said it needs to blend. You look at the sauce. The sauce tells you how long you need to blend it. Keep going.
Yeah.
Like that, it was so hard to drill into people's head. Like, it doesn't matter. You blend it until it's done. And yeah, so yeah. And also just, you know, how sharp the blade is, how much it's, you know, how much it's dulled, how much it's changed over time. Like, those things all change how long it needs blending. And that's why I make a point of teaching my staff what to look for in a done sauce, rather than I've been doing it forever. Like,
right.
That's the point.
Good point. Yep.
Yeah.
Technique.
Yeah. No, and my kitchen supervisor is a chef, and she's got chef training and all of that. And so her kind of being on top of that, she's actually, I think we've had a lot of other chefs in our kitchen, but I think she's the first of the people in charge of our kitchen who's been a chef.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Smart.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's good.
Oh, you want to do shout outs?
Yeah. Hot sauce shout out. Did you guys bring a bottle of sauce from some other maker that you would like to tell the world about?
Yes. We do have a bottle. So these are some fellow Pacific Northwest hot sauce makers. Murder Hornet.
Yes. I was right next to them in New York.
Oh, fantastic. We were right next to them in Portland in August.
Nice.
And also at a little show in Tacoma, near Tacoma, Washington.
Good.
So anyway, super nice guys. Let's see. We have another one of their sauces in our cabinet that I was going to bring out because it's called Red Rum and it looks like super creepy, like Halloween. I was like, that one. But it has a bunch of Reaper in it and we don't like to eat Reaper. So we're like, we're switching to this one. Black Label hot sauce by Murder Hornet. All right, we've got spoons.
Also randomly happened to be wearing a Hab sauce t-shirt.
Oh, Hob, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
We got to have David back on. I don't know if you were with us when we had him the first time.
Yeah, I was there.
Oh, were you? Okay,
yeah.
Good.
I remember talking to him. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of great makers out of the Northwest. Have you guys ever have you ever done the Portland Hot Sauce Expo?
We didn't do it this year, but we did it last year.
Oh, you did. Okay. We didn't do it last year, but we've done it like.
I was going to ask because I have wanted to try your sauces and I didn't see it there, but I also didn't go behind us very often because it was so busy.
Oh, right. Yep. I know. They get a good little turnout there. Yeah.
So are we doing a spoonful? Is that our...
We just do a shout out these days.
Yeah, we often just shout out. So you are welcome to eat it and talk about it.
I'm going to try it since we opened it. That's kind of a big...
I'm on the East Coast, and so it's like right before my bedtime. And honestly, I taste a lot of sauce for work.
Try hot sauce. Good. Uh-oh. Oh, honey, it is hot. This one does have some ghosts in it.
Yeah.
It's really tasty, and it will quickly light you up on your tongue.
Let's look at the ingredients real quick.
Okay, this is a Scovie Award winner. It says on the sticker. Yep. Good job, Murder Hornet.
This one, if I can read.
We can read it. Let's see.
Yeah, I can't read that.
We're in our 50s now. So red Fresno peppers, pomegranate, molasses. Wow, yum. Water, apple cider vinegar, ghost pepper, balsamic vinegar, black garlic, dates, olive oil. Wow. Does that say black lime?
I can't tell. Black lime. Black lava sea salt.
Black lava sea salt and spices. Wow.
And activated charcoal.
And activated charcoal.
And I love using pomegranate molasses. It's one of my new favorite ingredients to use.
Heard of that.
Oh, yeah?
I read that.
Yeah, I did. One of our sauces we came out with this year was a kind of a riff on a mahamra, which uses it's like roasted red pepper, fire roasted tomato, pomegranate molasses, and walnuts. And we added some harissa and stuff. But working with that one, I was like, oh, this is great. So then I immediately transferred it to 2 other sauces.
Nice. Like a good all natural sweetener that has a unique flavor. Yeah.
It's just thickened. It's, they've just reduced pomegranate juice by at least 20, by 2. So
nice. I like the walnuts piece in there. Like, are any sauces out there that are bottled have nuts in them?
Oh, we have 2. Yeah.
You got 2.
Yeah, we make one for Spicy Shark that's got almonds in it.
Okay.
It says Hamagata. He makes a roux with an almond flour, or we make it for him. So it's got almonds. And that way it doesn't have wheat. He wanted to make sure it was gluten-free, but it didn't use nuts.
Yeah. I like the nuts pathway in sauce.
I really want to make a pesto hot sauce.
Yeah.
I've been playing with that in my head.
But I'm changing it because I get this habit of where I'll make a sauce and then I'll be like, okay, I made it like the easy way, and now I need to make it a harder way. And so this one's going to be one of our premium sauces because I need to make it a little bit better. And I don't use pine nuts in mine. I actually prefer sunflower seeds.
I like cashews.
I
love making a creamy pesto and actually I used to make a vegan version of this with cashews and tofu and either basil or cilantro. I like a cilantro pesto too. And I used to make a salad dressing out of it. That was really, really tasty.
That sounds great. Like a green
cream cheese also works.
I do a vegan version with arugula and hemp seed and nutritional yeast. And
yeah, it's good.
I need to play more with nutritional yeast. I ate in a vegan dining co-op in college. And so I got very well versed in nutritional yeast, but then really haven't since then I occasionally buy it to put on my popcorn or something, but that's about it.
Yeah, I have a sauce plan that I haven't gotten to yet that has it in there, but I haven't quite gotten. I come out with a lot of sauces, so
we're working on one now that I think I'm going to try some nutritional yeast. It's supposed to have cheese for the flavor profile we're going for. It's supposed to have cheese, but they don't want it to have cheese.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So in 6 months' time, are we all going to have sauces with nuts and nutritional yeast?
We're all going to accidentally come out with the same sauce.
I don't know how many times Zach and I have been friends for, since we started our companies at the same time. We've been 7 years now. And I don't know how many times either he or I will come out with something and tell the other one about it and go, damn it, I was going to do that.
Great minds. Yeah. Love it.
Spike, what'd you bring?
I was going to shout out Marshall's.
Yeah.
They were our episode this last week, and it really got me thinking about it. I plan on actually ordering some sauce from them, which, by the way, I ordered some sauce from you this weekend.
I know. And there is something extra that's going to go into the package.
Thank you very much. Claire's got my favorite hot sauce of all time. It's the cilantro onion, and it is just... So my new sales guy is a big time foodie. He's friends with like a lot of really big time chefs, and he's, he'll go all over the country. And so I was telling him, I was raving about you this weekend, Claire. And I was like, you know what, we're going to order right now. So
we've been swamped with orders, so it may take a little while to go out, but it's just been it's a good problem to have. But
yeah, there you go.
It's been crazy. And I grabbed Clark and Hopkins, their Florida sauce with daddle peppers, which obviously I haven't tried it yet. But I really do. I'm very interested in daddle peppers. Are not something that I've worked with myself. And I really like Clark and Hopkins. I think that they were on season 7 of Hot Ones with us. They were alongside us somewhere. And I think it was Hot Ones. Could have been like a subscription box or something like that. But I think it was Hot Ones. And so I've just always liked them. They sent me this because they were at the New York Fancy Food Show, and the show ended on Tuesday, and we actually went back on Wednesday to pack up our booth, and just it was easier for us because we were driving back to Vermont, and so we did it all on Wednesday instead. And we were packing up our booth, and we were about to walk away. And because all the employees there were like clearing out the Fancy Food Show at that point, clearing out all the racking, I looked across and I saw his back wall. I saw Brandon's back wall hanging from one of the pipe and drape things. And I was like, I bet he didn't mean to leave that there. So I reached out to him and I was like, do you want me to take that and mail it to you? And he was like, oh my God, yes, please. So I mailed him that, and then he mailed me some sauce.
Get the sauce.
Oh, nice.
I love it.
A little aside, that reminded me, I contacted one of our hot sauce company friends in Florida. Have any of you ever used the beauty berry for anything?
No.
Have you ever heard of it? It is bright. Look it up. Just bright purple. I've never seen anything so purple in my life. And apparently there's a lot of them in Florida. So I called one of my friends in Florida and like, you ought to make a sauce with this. And they're going to like, I've never even heard of it. And I'm like, it's all over the place there, man. Take a look at it. It's so beautiful. It really is.
Wow. I've never heard of it either.
I know.
Cool.
It is. I've never seen anything so purple. And my friend was saying that they had a whole yard full of them in Florida. So,
so cool.
And it's edible, I guess. Obviously.
Yeah, it's called the beauty berry.
Beauty berry. Yeah, I'm going to look it up. Okay.
And the question of like things being edible, I just have to share that there's this woman on social media that I recently started following. She's a forager, and she has this game called Poison or Snack. And she calls it the 12th most popular game in America. Is it poison or is it a snack? And she'll give you 2 options, and you have to try to decide which one's poison or snack. And then she'll explain it all to you and all of that. And at the end, she's like, happy snacking, don't die.
I love that. That's awesome.
Love it so much.
Who is it?
Very educational.
I honestly don't really remember, but if you Google forager, poison or snack, happy snacking, don't die, like I'm sure you'll find her. She's also a black forager, which is like a lot less common. So, and I recently saw her on like Smosh or Dropout, something like that. Not like where you traditionally see comedians, and so she might be part of that now too. But she is hilarious and wonderful, and then I'm just so entertained by, is it a poison or is it a snack?
Cat's looking her up
Snack
right now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Say her name if you're looking her up.
I'm looking her up.
Let's see. I've got the she's coming up on YouTube from my Google results. Oh, it's
that's her.
Yeah, at Black Forager. That's her handle.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah,
Awesome.
there you go. So yeah, that's so funny. All right, I'm gonna watch that too. You gotta get educated in case you have to live in the woods at some point. And you know what could happen.
Where are we?
What's next for you? Right?
Oh,
yeah.
Good question. Let's see. I have to converse and see if we have another hot take to tell you guys. Let me just see.
So what?
About salad.
Oh. Maybe. Well, I will say, yeah, we've really been evaluating all of our pathways over the last year. At one point in 2023, you had already quit your 2/3 time job to do HYCH full time. And then I left my full-time job to do hot sauce full time. And we did that for like a year and a half. And it was fun and exciting and also a bit stressful and financially just tight. A lot of bottles of hot sauce. We worked, every farmer's market and event that we could find and tried out some big deals with Kroger and KeHE and, those kind of went sideways. Anyway, so then we got real jobs again and we both work remotely. So we have a little flexibility in our schedule, but this year, after 7 or 8 years of doing a lot of weekend farmers markets and holiday markets and basically devoting all of our lives to our hot sauce brand, I was like, I'm not doing any more farmers markets on the weekends. I want to have a summer where we actually have weekends where we get to see our friends. So we really pulled back this year from a lot of in-person events, and it's been so nice. And we've been trying to replace that revenue channel with growing into food service, so restaurants with some half gallons, and that's been picking up a little bit. Yep. And then we do work with a broker called Duo Marketplace. Is that what they're called? Yeah, that try to get our foot in the door at a lot of independent, smaller retailers instead of going the big route with big grocery, which can come at such a cost. So yeah, but then we do talk about also positioning our company for a sale. So we're kind of looking into that too, just because it's a lot running your own business and keeping it going. It's exciting. Yeah. I think starting like the first 5 or 6 years, you have so much momentum and you can just like blast through any obstacle because you're so passionate. And I didn't realize going into it that once you get through those initial years, like you have to dig in and find the well of persistence and determination to keep going, especially if you're doing it on the side kind of, and it just becomes like, okay, this is a lot to sustain and figure out new pathways and evolve. And so what's next is a good question. Yeah, I'm not sure.
The thought of like, well, we've built a company and it's a good company and it's got it's a profitable company and it's got a lot of channels and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, well, is it time? Like when do you make the decision to let go of the thing that you created or do you, or do you just kind of keep it going, because it can.
Flavor Balance Heat, the podcast for hot sauce lovers and makers, is brought to you by Irish Spike's unique hot sauces and Vandal pepper sauces. I'm Spike, the owner and executive saucier. Our sauces are handmade in the Pacific Northwest using the best possible ingredient. We believe that hot sauce equates to a balance of sensational heat coupled with a robust and complex flavor profile. Live your hottest life with Irish Spikes. Irish Spike's unique hot sauces and Vandal pepper sauces are available at saucecult.com.
So that's sort of like what's on our horizon, what we're looking at, and like, is that what we want to do? But this year was like the first year of restaurant service, and that's like, that's a whole different thing. And
it really is
nice to ship off a bunch of sauce and then not think about it anymore.
Not go stand in a grocery store for 3 hours sampling your product to people. Yeah. So, it's really been a fun journey. And we will likely keep it going a bit. I don't know. I think Matt always says, what would I do if I didn't do this? Because, I don't know. Your day job, you don't have to devote, so many hours. You have more time.
Yeah, I still have time to, put into it and I like it and it's hours. And so that's, it's just one of those things. Have you guys ever considered that kind of thing with your companies?
Oh yeah. I mean, if we're too small right now, but if the right number came along, I'd be, sure I'd sell out in a second. But
you're making us feel better. Yeah,
I want to sell out.
People ask me that, like, you're not going to ever sell out, are you? I'm like, in a second, yeah, I want that hot sauce mansion, but it's not going to happen.
The hot sauce mansion you were promised when you started this business.
I keep telling everybody it's going to be on Moscow Mountain. It's going to be hot sauce shaped. The whole, yeah. What about you, Claire? Would you ever consider doing that?
I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a point at which I'm done. And, but like, what is that point? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that yet. So
Yeah.
I love what I do. I got a LinkedIn message from my father yesterday, which I was like, what? And I guess LinkedIn is telling people that I've been at my job for 22 years, which is technically true. That started the company in October of 2003. My job has changed tremendously in those 22 years. The nature of the business has changed tremendously in 22 years. 22 years ago, we were making dark chocolate truffles. And that was it. So yeah, it's, I'm definitely not tired of it. It's changed so much. It constantly demands new things of me. It keeps me on my toes. There are times when I think that I kind of dream of going to a job where I go in and I do work and then I leave. That seems amazing. But I think probably for 2 years, I would be like, this is great. And then my brain would get bored and my brain would invent another company. Cause I've been an entrepreneur literally my entire life, or my entire adult life. Honestly, more than that. I started a lemonade stand and baked goods stand the summer before my 4th grade year. And then donated all the profits to Greenpeace. But yeah, so I think that I would never say no. I wouldn't sell at some point I'm going to be done. I know that.
Yeah.
I don't know, not there yet.
Yeah. I had to, I was running into a wall at the end of last year. It was just getting to be, it was tough. And this year I changed up how I've done everything. We've always kind of been known for our art on our bottles. And so this year, instead of making the sauce and then commissioning the art, I commission the art and I make the sauce, but I change it based on the likes and dislikes of our artist. And I work with artists all over the world. And so I've come out with 30 sauces this year because I can't stop now. That I've got this new way of doing it that I just love.
Well, I feel like that sounds really invigorating and inspiring. And one of my challenges with our company is we kind of are of different minds about this, but we started with 2 flavors and we added a flavor and then we added 2 more flavors. We have 5, but we've had the same 5 since 2022, I think. Mm-hmm. And we haven't added any more. And I personally am always we need something new. Although, look at HYCH ketchup. They've had one product for many years, right? And so you can definitely, Secret Aardvark had, I think, 2 or 3 flavors for 15 years and that's all they had. So but working with a co-packer like we do, anything we run has to be a minimum 100 gallons. So it's to come out with a fun little seasonal flavor where we don't think our retailers are going to stock another bottle on their shelves, right? So then we just have to sell it at local events, which we probably could and on the website. But it's just a lot of R&D and then the new label and then
Right.
So
It's a lot of work. Yeah.
If we could have a new flavor every quarter to promote and talk about and drive online sales and keep people interested and engaged, or keep me interested and engaged enough to keep promoting, then I think that would be so fun. Yeah.
It is fun, but it is a lot of work.
And then you got to store it, right? Pallets at the warehouse,
inventory. Yeah.
Yep.
We launch 3 new hot sauces every month.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding.
And they're small. They're 12 cases ish. It varies from batch to batch, but it's around 150 bottles. And sometimes they're not new. It's some old favorite that people want us to bring back again. But yeah, it's 3 new ones every month. And we print the label in-house to deal with that. We do the label design in-house. I used to do it. Now one of my employees does it. It's kind of crazy and it's kind of silly, but it works. It works because we are a manufacturer and we co-pack at that size as well, which is something that most co-packers don't do. So we do we're in regular practice of that. We do 3 new hot sauces a month, but we make, I don't know, it varies from month to month, but we probably make, 15 different micro batch sauces every month because either ours or clients or whatever. So yeah.
You selling?
We do micro batch with.
You absolutely could. You absolutely could.
I was going to suggest that you could actually get a different co-packer for just having, we do premium sauces, so we'll do that.
Yeah.
And it'll just be, usually ours is about 200 to 250 bottles. And then we sell them at a higher price because it costs more for the art and all the stuff we have. We pay our artists well. And so we have to recoup that. And so it's a thing, but it's worth it. I think it's just a lot of fun to do that.
I feel like that would really keep the energy going on both sides of the equation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But are you selling those at markets? Is that where or is this e-commerce?
Mostly.
Go ahead, Claire.
Ours are. It's mostly e-commerce. Some of our stores like buying the micro batches, but there's stores who just like want something that's different than everybody else has or want something that's new. And those are the stores that will just like keep an eye on what we have for micro batches. And we also have what we call macro micros, which are micro batches we do them slightly larger batches. It's like 1,000 bottles or something, but we keep those around year round, but they're not part of our main lineup. And so stores that like to have something different will often buy those. So it's like, oh, it's something that other people don't have or whatever.
Gotcha.
But mostly it's e-commerce.
Yeah. Okay. And then when you do the micro batch too, like you're not having to warehouse it for long. Like you probably sell through it really quickly because
it varies from batch to batch how much we sell. Like we did a tomatillo corn that is almost, we've had it out for 4 weeks now and it's almost gone. And then we have, it is really almost gone. I walked by it on the other day and I was like, oh, wow. Okay. Every time we make it, it sells faster and I just love it. And it's such a pain in the butt to make. So we're never going to make it a big batch and it's just going to sell fast. And that's what I love. But then other ones, they might be a little harder for people to wrap their brain around. Like we did a carrot, cabbage, and caraway, which tasted kind of like rye bread, like that. And that one hung around for a while. It did sell out, but but you can always sell 150 bottles. You can always sell that.
Sounds like nice. A good Reuben sauce, like a dipping.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
We had a whole conversation about your honey cantaloupe.
It's so good.
That me and Michael were both saying, hey, Michael's like, I put honey on my cantaloupe. That sounds really good. And somebody else was like, I can't imagine putting honey on cantaloupe. And I'm like, really? That sounds so awesome. We had a whole thing. Sounds great.
And the cantaloupes are so musky. Like they are, that farmer's market cantaloupe that they pick it when it's ripe. And when you bring it home, like you have to cut into it that day or the fruit flies are going to steal it from you. And like they're so good. And you can taste that. And they're so musky and it's sweet, really good, like Asian style sauce. Love it.
Nice. Yum.
And the label, by the way, for the blueberry basil is beautiful.
I will let Robert know.
5 times. Yeah.
So and for us, we do like 250 and I sell it at farmer's market mostly, but we also do it online. And it really does help because we'll roll out a new sauce and suddenly the sales will go up online and then they'll, start to level out again. But then somebody somewhere will review one of those sauces and it goes right back up. So that's really nice. I like that.
Yeah. And if you guys are interested in like co-packing smaller batches, I can shoot you an email with our co-pack information. We are on the other side of the country from you. We're in Vermont. Yep. You don't have to be here for test batches. I highly recommend it just because then we can hit your vision. I can make a yummy sauce, but it may not be the yummy sauce that you have in your head. So,
Well, I will say, Claire, that Matt's brother in Syracuse, New York, sent us a link last week to a cabin in Vermont. He said we should go halves in. So,
Perfect.
This cabin is up for $30,000. I think it's pretty rustic, but where
in Vermont is it?
Do you remember?
Near Rochester, Vermont. Is that?
Oh, yeah, that's not that far. I have an employee whose family has a place in Rochester. So it's like, I'd be like an hour and a half maybe from us.
You should do a little visit and check it out.
Yeah. Well, send us the information.
That would
Okay.
be so
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Keep things interesting that way.
Yeah, it would be really fun to have something new to talk about on a regular basis.
Yeah, I mean, I have
easily bored.
We've had a bunch of sauces over the years that are like, oh, this one, but never have gone forward with it.
Yeah.
And I would also say that we are not just a, pump and pour co-packer. We can do some prep. We have some limitations. Like we did have a local chef who wanted us to do blackened leeks. And I was like, no. So he was like, well, I'll provide the blackened leeks. And I was like, okay, great.
Perfect.
So we do have some limitations, but we can do prep. We work with whole ingredients on the regular. So
I love that. Yeah, that's great. Perfect.
Awesome.
Do you have questions for us?
Yeah.
Oh.
I do. One other question that popped up in my head is, Claire, as you were talking about your business, and is your business all housed under like the Butterfly Bakery, or is your hot sauce business a separate business? And I mean, you have lots of different products.
Yeah.
And so just curious about the number of businesses.
So years ago, I'm a constant experimenter and I'm always trying new things. And years ago, every new experiment had its own name. I had Farm Girl Truffles. I had Nutcase Chocolate Spread. I had all sorts of different things. And all it did was dilute my brand. And people were like, oh, this is you too? And they wouldn't know. And it wouldn't, it was just horrible from marketing perspective. And so I brought it all under one roof. And I was like, never again am I doing split brands. So when I started doing hot sauce, I was like, nope, it's going to be called Butterfly Bakery. And so it has been called Butterfly Bakery. Now, since then, back in 2022, I bought another business. I bought Fat Toad Farm, which is not a farm, despite the name. It used to be a farm, and it's a goat milk caramel company. So they sold their herd to a nearby dairy, and then that's the dairy where we continue to get the milk from. And it's a goat milk caramel, cajeta. If you guys have been to South America, you may be familiar with cajeta, similar to dulce de leche, but made with goat's milk instead of cow's milk. And that is called Fat Toad Farm. It has a huge brand following, a lot of brand loyalty, and we've left that under the Fat Toad Farm name. So,
all right,
great question.
Technically, I have two businesses.
Yeah.
Two brands.
I guess my question for you both is on the logistical sales side. Have you found it lucrative to work with distributors and go into larger grocery retail chains, or do you try to stick with smaller, independent, more gourmet, higher price point? And do you have brokers and distributors, or you just have like a team in-house that's doing all your sales?
Spike, you can answer that first.
We a little bit of both. So we're in US Foods. We're in Cisco, but we've had a mixed bag with that. I'd say US Foods has been pretty solid for a long time. We've been with them for a long time. But it's a different thing. And so it's been, they're big giant companies, and we're not used to working with big giant companies. So it's something that you have to kind of wrap your head around. When it comes to, just basic sales around the Northwest, we've got a sales guy who's been doing that for us, and he's really good. And so that's been very helpful.
Nice. Great. Can we find you in Salem, Oregon? That's a tack-on question for both of you.
I don't think we're in Salem yet, but we are in Eugene. I know that. For some reason, we have had a hard time with Portland, but I think we're close. We're in Seattle, where we've got all the cities up and down, but for some reason, Portland, and there's just so many hot sauce companies. I think that's probably it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we sell to a handful of distributors, but not very many, and we're very choosy. We often say no to distributors. So we had an opportunity to be in Gehi, and we turned that down. Feel pretty strongly that a lot of distributors will beat you, steal all your money, and leave you for dead. Kehi's a particularly bad one.
Yeah, the big ones. Yeah.
So we work with small regional distributors. We've got a few of them. There's Rainforest, I don't think is out your way, but we were with Associated Buyers who got bought by Rainforest. So they're really the biggest distributor that we work with. Mm-hmm. And they can really eat you alive. And I'm never going to say no that we would never work with them. I just want to be a big enough company that we're a more important part of the discussion when that opportunity does come up. So we've been talking to Chex Foods recently, that they want to bring our products on, and we're trying to decide if that's going to be a good fit for us or not. It's really funny when we go to trade shows, because those bigger distributors come up to us a lot and talk to us a lot and get, I don't know, miffed when we say we've already said no to you guys. And then the little distributors come up to us and they feel this need to like defend themselves as to being little. And I'm like, no, this is what we want. The little is great. You do DSD and you handle it and you give love to your accounts. And that's what we need. And that's the brand representation that we're looking for. So we do sell in a few small chains, but not large ones. Fat Toad Farm had done a lot more with distributors and chains. And so when we brought on Fat Toad Farm, we kind of got a little bit more experience with the bigger distributors and chains and kind of affirmed our feelings on them. So we were in with Cisco and we ended that account because that was not a good fit for us. So we're really, Fair has been a really fantastic platform for us because our bread and butter is those small stores. And what I've discovered too is like, as we've kind of improved our messaging on that, like when we talk about that we want to be in smaller stores, not larger stores, like it's not the message that most people expect. And they interpret from that we're just really tiny and don't know what we're talking about. And like the reality is like, we're not. So we also, all of our sourcing is directly from small farms. So our tagline is small farms, big flavor. We work directly with a network of farms within 200 miles of our kitchen. 100% of our milk, produce, and maple syrup comes from these small farms. And so we've worked on that messaging. And so we've talked about that. And so we then can say, you know, it's logistically complicated. And so is working with smaller accounts, but we've figured out the logistics. That's our jam. Logistics are our wheelhouse, our strong suit, our superpower. That's the word I was looking for. And so Fair has been really wonderful for a lot of those small accounts require a lot of handholding, reminding that we just exist because the spot goes empty on their shelf and they forget that there was a thing there in the first place. And Fair has really helped with that. So Fair isn't the only one, but like we've really worked at targeting those smaller brands. And then, when we tell brands that's kind of our point and our, you know, what we prefer to do, they get kind of excited and they brighten up because they're used to kind of being treated like crap by accounts who are going to favor the big supermarket chains and the big distributors over handling the small accounts. So that's, you know, where we are. Like I said, it doesn't mean that we would never go into those big accounts, but we just want to make sure that when we do, that we're still identified as a specialty food brand, as a higher end product. The grocery stores are bringing in more of those products as time goes forward. And we want to make sure that that's our identity and not that it ends up cheapening our brand and not that it, you know, not that we get beaten and robbed and left for dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Our experience with the large distributors is just that food distribution in this country is really a mess. And the fact that those large distributors seem to have zero skin in the game. You know, they buy your product and then they can 2 years later, year and a half later say, oh, never mind, we didn't sell it. So you have to buy it back from us. It's like, well, you bought the product, you know, it's just a mess. So well, that's cool. It's really neat to hear how other brands are handling that. So thanks for sharing. It's
cool because like every brand has a different story and a different pathway that they have forged. And it's so cool to hear like the different ways, like, oh yeah, like I've got a piece of that and like, oh, a piece of that. And like, you know, and then I can make my little pathway.
Yeah. And it's one of the things I really love about being a co-packer is that we just have we're a lot closer to a lot of other brands than we would be if we were just in our own little silo. And it's just so easy to be in your own little business silo. And, you know, these aren't like, you know, business secrets. These are just the things that, you know and see and talk about when you're close to a brand. And we're just close to a lot. And so we can see people, you know, I mean, actually, honestly, figuring out Chex Foods, I called one of our clients because I knew that he was in with Chex Foods. And I was like, what's your experience with this? And then, oh my God, he just let out a word vomit of his feelings with Chex Foods. But then we talked like a month or two later and he was like, actually, it's been going pretty well since then. I was like, okay, great. Yeah. So
word of mouth.
Yeah.
Well, that's
the thing. You know, I think doing this podcast has really opened that up for me.
Yeah.
Seeing that every single week we get to see a completely different way that somebody's, you know, kind of made their path. It's nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, how about we do something called speed round. It's very quick answers. So why don't you just take turns? How's that sound? One question. All right.
Okay.
So Catherine, we'll start with you. You win the lottery. What's the first hot sauce related thing you buy?
A hot sauce related thing that I buy. A yacht for me and my hot sauce.
There you go. I like that. If you had to give up, Matt, this is for you. Matt, if you had to give up the hot sauce business but could do anything else, what would you do?
Oh, gosh.
On the yacht with me.
Yeah, I'll go on the yacht with Kat.
There you go. I like that.
I don't know.
All right.
I would go hang out in Costa Rica probably.
There you go. That's
Yep.
nice. So let's see. You get one hot sauce for the rest of your life. I'll have you both answer this one. You get one hot sauce for the rest of your life. It's Desert Island hot sauce. What is it?
I mean, can it be one of my own hot sauces?
Oh, no, it can't. I'm sorry. I should have said that.
Really? Okay. Well, gosh. Oh, you go first.
All right, I'll go first. You can think about
hot sauce.
One of my favorites is Seafire Gourmet Habanero Garlic. It's
awesome.
just yummy. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to have to go with John Solcelli's, is it called Indian Summer?
Oh, yeah. Jersey Bonfire.
So good.
Yeah.
Jersey Bonfire. Yeah, I love that sauce. It's like a sweet curry out of a bottle or something.
Yeah,
Really
I've had it. I've got it in my kitchen right
Not
now.
too
It's
hot.
so good.
Yeah, so good. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. We'll go back to Catherine. If you had a sandwich named after you, what would it be? What would be in it? And what type of heat would you use?
I think it would be called the Muffy, my childhood nickname. And I guess then it would have to be like the muffaletta. What is that?
Oh, yeah,
Eggplant?
muffletta, yeah.
Eggplant. And what kind of sauce would I use? Maybe some kind of like a spicy tomato, like a hot tomato sauce.
There we go. All right. All right. If you could go back in time and change one thing about your business journey, what would it be?
Oh my God.
Golly.
Not sending Kehi that second pallet of sauce.
That's the one. That's the one.
I totally understand that.
Yeah. I knew it. I called it.
Okay. And what is the best business advice you've ever received?
Is that me? Early on, one of our mentors said, inch wide, mile deep. So saturate your market before you try to expand into larger
Smart.
regions.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you had to fight another hot sauce company maker, who would it be and would you win?
That's you. You're pretty big.
Yeah, I would fight. I would fight Stacy from Secret Aardvark, and she would kick my ass.
I'd be scared of Stacy. Okay, if you could collaborate with any hot sauce company, who would it be?
Boy, gosh. I don't know. I mean, maybe you go.
I think Matt Minnie from Funky's. We get to hang out with him a
sauces.
fair amount, and he's such a cool dude, and yeah, he's great. So
He's the nicest guy. Yeah.
Like everyone in hot sauce is cool. Like, yeah, but right, good choice.
Matt gets a lot of love on our program. So
I love it. Yeah, a good guy.
if you had to pare down to only one sauce out of all the sauces you got, which one would it be?
Out of all the sauces that we make ourselves, like for sales or just for myself?
Just for sales, but you could pick whichever one you wanted.
Right. Okay. Well, my personal favorite is our tamarind, and that is a delicious and unique Asian-inspired sauce. I will say, however, in terms of sales, our best-selling flavor is our Nashville. So maybe just for the health of the company, I would go Nashville. But if it was just for me to hoard it and eat it, I would go tamarind.
Awesome. Okay. If your brand were a cave person, would it be a hunter or a gatherer, and why?
God, I guess
Question.
that is a tough one. I think
What are you
it must be a gatherer because it's gathering all types of different flavors and ingredients and bring them together a little pile.
That's it.
Yeah.
I like that. Describe your favorite sauce from your line without saying a single ingredient or heat level. How about Matt, since we already know your favorite?
Oh, God. So,
No ingredients.
yeah, no ingredients. Citrusy, heat, savory.
Sweet.
Yeah, citrusy, sweet, savory. What did I say second?
I don't
can't
know.
remember.
Yellow.
Yellow.
There you go. All right, last one. If Pepto-Bismol asked you to make a hot sauce using Pepto-Bismol, What flavors would be in it, and what kind of heat would you use?
I'm thinking like a bubble gum Serrano, maybe. What do you think?
Grapefruit.
Ooh, with Pepto.
Well, it's like pink kind of.
That's the bubble gum.
Yeah. Oh, right. Bubblegum. Yeah. Pepto, grapefruit.
Or maybe like a raspberry.
And I guess some pepper X in there needs to happen since it's Pepto.
There you go. Absolutely. That's it. We're all done.
That's a great question. That was.
You're welcome. Absolutely. Thank you.
Much, guys.
Yeah, it's really nice to get to know you all.
Yeah, it's been really great to chat with you guys.
This has been a Spike Mind Media production.